because I have to. Now need to give you an update on what's going on with the Canada Post strike. So I'll start off with that in just a few minutes as folks come in. Good morning, Peacock. You're up early. Good morning, Mama Fox. Nietzsche, good morning. Neil Farm, Headlong Farm, Shop for All to See. Like that name. Good morning. Thank you, Mama Fox. Good morning, Terry. Bye now, Shop 59. Hey, Headlong Farm. How are you doing? Angela Ashley, good morning. How are you doing? Melinda's Creations. Hi, how are you? I'm going to do the Canada Post update first. So I'll just wait a few more seconds for people to come in because I am a couple of minutes early this morning. Mostly because I'm dog tired and I'm just ready to go back to bed. I did too much as usual. Good morning, East Ender Resales. How are you? And I know TMI, but I have another infection, bladder infection. Oh, thank you. It's good to see you there, Headlong Farm. Welcome in. So I'm a Canadian seller, so we have a strike that's coming. So I'm going to start off with, oh my gosh, look at all those cute little hearts. Yes, there's some sort of heart thing going on. I don't completely understand it. I apologize, but thank you for all the little hearts. It does something. I don't know. There's something going on. I haven't quite figured it out. I'll do that tomorrow. Angie's this and that. New photo. I like it. Good morning, Donna. How are you? Good morning, Shop for All to See. I really do love that name. So yeah, I did too much on the weekend because we were I had the live auction. Good old fashioned live auction. It was really cold and windy, and so it wasn't a huge turnout. I get better turnout on my one-man shows. But that's okay. I know Shop 59 says, I think I'm going to go outside for a nap after your show. Yeah, I'm going to good morning, Magical A. Pretend this is a heart because my hands are full right now. Good morning. I have so much to do though. I still have so much to do, but I need to rest because I'm just, Philly Flipper, what's up? Good morning. Strike, it hasn't even begun yet. It hasn't even started. All right, let's get straight into that. Let's just get the Canada Post crap over with so then we can talk about Rewards Club, because Rewards Club's the new season starts today at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. Shop for All to See says, busy learning and following so many sellers and finding fun stuff for my house. Ooh, yeah, I know there are so many great things on Whatnot, aren't there? Canada Post is like your vacuum. It sucks. My vacuums stop sucking very quickly. And then I have to get a new one. You finally got Rewards Club. Yay. Buy now, Shop 59. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. So, Canada Post strike. Hello, if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching live, come over to Whatnot. We have way more fun over here. That's pretty accurate for my dog too. He does like to pee on the Canada Post boxes. No offense, Canada Post. Okay, they make me smile. Good morning, Erica, my love. How are you? All right, so there is no strike yet. The operative word being yet. So it might be a coming. So let me just give you a timeline. So currently, right now, the union is in a legal strike position. They are using work to rule rather than doing a walkout right now. Okay, and then sorry, this is going to be really small type for you to read. So I'm going to just skip down to this part. So on May 30th, last week, a lot happened. Canada Post made a final offer and requested that it go to a vote to the membership. Cup W came back and said, can we go to binding arbitration again? June 1st, Canada Post said, no, F you, in a polite way. And so next stop on our lovely journey is a vote by the union members. If it's a no, then it's a strike. So that's where we are right now. So still no strike. When I was in Whatnot Sellers, somebody announced that there was a Canada Post strike. And I was like, no, there ain't. I can't believe I actually saw that message because their show was so busy. And I was like, there's no strike yet. I don't know who told you that. And then the person, of course, had to message me to say, no, like, no, because I heard it from a seller. And so it must be true. And I'm like, well, no, because I'm in Canada. So I know better. And I know how to use Google. So fake news is spreading throughout Whatnot USA that Canada Post already has a strike. We haven't had our strike yet. The last time they were on strike was in December. So this is like 2.0. This is what I'm calling strike 2.0. Okay. So the current situation is work to rule. I know exactly. It's work to rule. So they're not doing any overtime right now. We're going to have to wait to see when the vote happens. And then if they vote no, then we're going to a strike. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I'm going to just quickly get through this strike crap as quickly as possible. So the future possibilities are that, of course, right now, Cup W, that's the union, is going to continue work to rule. If there's a vote and it's yes, then there's no strike. If it's a vote and they say no, then the possibilities are the following. Rolling strikes can start regionally or they can go to a full national strike. Stop trying to save battery power. Then if they go to a full national strike, then the government can bring in back to work legislation, or Canada Post could just decide to lock out workers. That's fun. That could happen too. Okay, so if there's rotating strikes, which would be the ideal situation, then regions would be on strike, but not the whole country. So you can still ship by Canada Post, but shipping delays will occur. Now, the major question is, when are they going to take this to a vote to their membership? How long is that going to take? And then how long is it going to take for the results to come in? And then it's either, if it's a yes, then no strike, hallelujah, God save the queen, etc., or the king, not our current queen. Or if it's a no, then the union has to decide whether or not it's going to go for a full strike or for rotating strikes or continue to work to rule. Yeah. So, all right. So here is my suggestion for you. If you're a Canadian seller, and if you're an American in the room, just hang on. I promise I'm going to get to Rewards Club. I just got to do this Canadian news first. So if you're a Canadian seller, please remember to keep calm and plan ahead. Keep selling, adapt and adjust. We Canadians, we can adapt and adjust to anything. I mean, we've dealt with a lot. Also, a reminder for Canadian sellers, Whatnot has extended the reduced commission of only 4% until September 7th because they know how crappy all this they feel for us. So I want to send a big thank you out to them. And just a reminder that 50% of the founders of Whatnot are Canadian. So technically, 50% of Whatnot is Canadian because Grant is from Canada. We claim him and we're keeping him. I know he lives in the States now, but he's still Canadian. He's still Canadian. Okay, so that's still September 7th. Thank you, Whatnot, for that. So if you can switch to Chit Chats, and I'm not going to go step by step through this yet, because again, once I know what the timeline is for the vote, then I'll be able to give you a harsher recommendation when it comes to like, should you be switching to Chit Chats now? I'll just say to you, if you're a Canadian seller, I've already switched to Chit Chats just to be on the safe side. I don't like using Chit Chats because it's like a 35-minute drive each way to go drop off, but it is what it is. So there's that. So do your research, figure out where all the locations are, if there's a location close to you or not, or how much it's going to cost you to use one of the drop-off locations if you live in the Maritimes. They are not in the territories. They're not in Saskatchewan. They're not in Manitoba. They are not in Newfoundland. And in the Maritimes, they're in Halifax area, the greater Halifax area, and the rest is paid drop-offs at the bus depot. Your other option is to use Chit Chat's Canpar service, which you can look into. And I'll talk about this in more detail when it looks like we're getting closer to a possible strike. But right now we're still in limbo. So it's not panic time yet. So also, if you're using if you switch to Chit Chats, they use the Chit Chat system with Whatnot, picks the cheapest possible for the package to travel through Chit Chat system. And sometimes that means that Canada Post is going to be the last mile. Don't freak out if you print off a Whatnot, if you print off a Chit Chats label on Whatnot to a Canadian buyer and it says Canada Post, just drop it off at Chit Chats as normal. They've been redirecting packages. Yeah, so Buy Now Shop 59, because it looks like it's going to be delayed for a bit, the strike, they decided to go back to their cheapest route, but if they think that it's getting close again, they will switch back. So what they did when it looked like for sure they were going to strike, good morning, Wow Nice Brooch, is that they went and switched it back to a different, so it cost Chit Chats a little bit more, but they wanted to make sure nothing got stuck in the system. But they are right now going back to Canada Post for a while, but fear not, their their goal is to make sure that the packages make it on time before there's a strike, so they're aware of that. I won't go into all the details here. I will say, oh god, sorry, didn't mean to hit you. Is everybody okay? My lawyer is in Port Hope if you want to sue me. Okay, so market locally with local pickup is one of my suggestions. A lot of folks aren't sharing their referral codes to people who are local. And if you can offer local pickup, you're going to get so many more people. Your neighbor down the street, somebody that you've never met, because you put posters out everywhere. And I do have, if you join in the show notes is the link to the Discord. Everybody's welcome, so you do not have to be from Canada to be part of it. And I have some templates that you can use that you can put on your social media. I just put an example up here. That QR code does not go where you think it does. But that would be a QR code that would go to your Whatnot referral. Eastender says I did local pickup and it's great. Yeah. Good morning, Yard Yeller. So if there is a postal strike, fear not. Whatnot is also going to bring your own label, and I will talk about that in more detail in the future. I'm not going to do it today because today is about I just want you to do your research ahead of time. That's all. So today is going to be, I need to have a business, register business, sell Whatnot. No, you can sell as a sole proprietor. If baseballcardstore.ca, if you plan on selling over the threshold where you need it, you need to be reporting to the government for your full, like for HST, GST number, that sort of thing. But you do not need to give your HST, GST number in order to be a seller on Whatnot. So no, they don't ask for that. At least they haven't, I haven't heard of them asking for that in Canada. They Make Me Smile says, have you heard anything about them stopping sponsored giveaways? I have not, because if there was any factual rumor, the community sellers group would probably have a fit, because a lot of them do that during their shows. Sponsored giveaways, I think, are an interesting idea if you're that as long as there's something in return. Right? So like one of the things that I did, and I ran out of black lights pretty quickly, was I had buy a black light, give a black light. So so you got sent a black light. So instead of you just getting sent stickers or a thank you note, it's like you get this thing and they get that thing. I thought that just felt more comfortable to me than saying, give away $100 gift card type thing. So I did that, and that worked out really well. So if you have something in your like something like that might be something to think about. So it's like gifting, but it's gift to the whole it's a giveaway, so it triggers a giveaway, but you have to make sure you put it at the amount that's right. So I mean, obviously for an American seller, it would probably be better to have something that's flat, but something that people would actually want to buy. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like instead of it like giveaway stickers, that's not as exciting as giveaway, I don't know. So think of something like that. So in Canada, our minimum, our shipping costs are pretty high depending on where you live. So when I do a giveaway as a Canadian, when I do a giveaway, it can cost me up to $14 just to ship, like 14 Canadian. So $10, $11 American, just to ship something. So I basically looked at my averages and then picked something a little tiny bit above my average for the shipping costs, plus the cost of my base cost for the two black lights. So I'm not actually making any money when I do it. It's more like just kind of a engage with the audience type thing. But I find the people who are using it for, like, give away an Xbox, give away this, give away that. I think in my opinion, that's a bit much. I think sponsored giveaways can get, because then people are like, afterwards they regret it, right? They feel like they didn't get their value for it, and I think that's where there's starting to be complaints, which is why people are talking about it. I think at some point it could get taken away, but I think if we rethink sponsored giveaways as being like, give, buy yourself a $10 gift card, give someone else a $10 gift card, a little bit more, or $5 gift card type thing. In the States, you could PWE, plain white envelope, a gift card, right? So thank you for all the hearts. I can't remember what's going on with that thing, that whole thing with the hearts. I didn't pay attention. I need to read up on that. But Today, we're going to be talking about rewards clubs. So we're going to go into my seller. No, wait, where do I go for this? See, now here's the thing. They move stuff around on me. So now I have to figure out where it is on here. So we're going to play this game together. All right, here we go. Good morning, Donna. Love you. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go over, we're going to figure it out together. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to tap on this rewards club. Okay. So I'm in my account screen, which is over here. You click on this dude and then you hit view profile. Okay. And then up here is my crown. Ignore the fact that my phone is beaten up all to heck and beyond. Peacock, don't worry. You got 3 days left for your 50% off coupons. So all of your coupons will still work for another. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go there. Okay, so you click on your rewards club. Now, then you want to go to, I can't believe it, it's season 4. So we're going to set my rewards club up together. We're going to do this together. So we're going to go to season 4. Okay. So it says here, once you've created your program, check back here for an overview of your rewards and achievements for this season. And that says copy or create a new program. Do you see that? I know I feel so old too. All right. Oops, sorry. Okay. So I'm just going to go back to season 3 and we're going to see what we've got going on here. We've got, yep. All right. Okay. I got like way too many coupons, I think. So, but you know what? Let's see if it's actually working. So we're going to go now. I'm going to switch. We're going to go on my handy dandy laptop and we're going to go, if you sign in on your laptop or tablet to seller.whatnot.com, say it with me, seller.whatnot.com. It's going to take you to here. Now, at the very bottom, of this screen, there's a crown. You're just going to have to believe me. Hang on. Almost at the very bottom. Right here, there's a crown. That's what we want to go to. So clickety click the crown. Click. Okay. And then I have to zoom back out again. All right. So now we're going to go to my analytics. Now, please note, in season 3, I did not do as many shows as I should have. So my season is probably worse than it was before. So, I did only 110 shows in the season, but that's like, I'm on every morning except for Sundays. And I was only live for 156 hours, which is probably low for me. Purchase and spend behavior, season 3. So I had my average order value went down to by $1 because I wasn't selling very much. And let's see, tier 1 breakdown. So in tier 1, with all of my coupons, I had only $22 in coupon spend. In tier 2, I had $33 in coupon spend. Tier 3, I only had 3 members and only had $7 coupon spend. I have only 1 member in tier 4 who spent $13, have spent like used up $13 worth of coupons, and I have nobody in tier 5 this time. Again, because I wasn't selling cheeseburger. Good morning. Now I'm hungry for cheeseburger. So you can go to Rewards Club on your laptop. I know I'm being very fancy by holding up my laptop like this, or your tablet. And then you'll be able to see all of your analytics. Now, why are the analytics important? The analytics are important to be able to determine, okay, so if my average order value is only $4 and I want to raise that, then I want to raise the bar on how much do you have to spend for your first item in order to get the first Rewards Club. So that's how I do it. Now, the really cool thing is that when you go to Rewards Club right here, see this little, I'm going to zoom in. This is why I love touch screens. Okay. So good morning, Sassy. So see that little information icon beside Rewards Club? We're going to click on that. We're going to click on that. And then it's got this really great video. Okay. So have a great show, EastEnder. So this video will give you a complete overview of everything to do with Rewards Club. It explains you can go step by step through the whole thing, and it'll explain it right there. You can always go to help.whatnot.com too, but it explains the different levels, how they achieve it, each season, and then it also talks about optimizing your analytics. It's all in there. So I really highly suggest, good morning, Dee. I really highly suggest that you go here first before you set up your Rewards Club. Now I'm going to keep it the same because because I didn't sell very much this month, my per item has gone down. So I want to keep it the same to try and keep, because I'm not, before my per item was actually going up because my sales were pretty steady, but I didn't have as many sales I didn't have as many sales shows. They Make Me Smile says, do you feel it's best to do percent or dollars or both? It's what you're comfortable with, to be honest. They Make Me Smile. By the way, follow They Make Me Smile and D Archivist. Congratulations, D, by the way. D Archivist has achieved 365 Ds straight of doing shows on Whatnot every single day for 300 she's probably on 366 now or 67 now. Congratulations, D. You are amazing. I can't believe it's now your next goal is 1,000 days. Holy cow, 1,000 Ds of D. I'm excited. Congratulations. You are awesome. So when you do that many shows, if you do consistent shows like that, people are going to show up, and Dee has built up her audience because of that, because she's so consistent. It's awesome. So Rewards Club, you want to go in and check out how many orders did you get and what was the spend like? As you can see, look at my spend. My spend is all in the low values. There's like, you can't even, so it most people are under $100 that they spend in my and then we have 1.22% are between 200 and 299 Canadian dollars. So and then your sales metrics shows you the total sales, your total orders, and then the average order value. And it also has little reminders too. So it's saying like, motivate buyers to climb tiers for more repeat purchases and turn more viewers into buyers by promoting your Rewards Club during your shows. How many times do I forget to mention Rewards Club until I see somebody like do egg, and then I'm like, oh yeah, egg, by the way, you could do Rewards Club. The Sassy Vintage Chick says, the boss lady has arrived. Congratulations, my friend. I want to be you when I grow up. And everyone follow the Sassy Vintage chick too. She's amazing. She does really great chat shows. All right, so here we are. We're in the rewards club. You go to your seller.whatnot.com, you go to the rewards club section, look at your analytics. If you haven't set up, what if this is your first time setting up rewards club, then make sure that you go to that little info button and watch that video and read all the information that they have there before you start going in, because once you set up your coupons, only if support feels like you majorly screwed it up and it's worthy of being eliminated, if you give like 100% off coupons and it looks very deliberate, they're just going to say, well, yep. So you need to make sure that you don't put too many coupons in that are going to cost you money. Think always about, what do I have in my inventory? What is my margins? Like what do I have to work with? If your margins are really tight, then offering a 50% off coupon is not a great thing. So you might want to lower that to a 10% or a 15% off coupon. For sure, think of it like it's a reward for your customers who buy from you frequently. So every once in a while, you want to give away a freebie. And you can use, instead of you always having just little tchotchke things that you throw into somebody's box that they may or may not want, save your money and instead use Rewards Club to reward your buyers. They get a coupon that they're going to use during your show and buy something that they actually want. Because to be honest, I have so much stuff that comes in boxes as like free gift. And it's like, thanks, but I don't really want this. And it's like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the gesture, but I really don't want the thing. I would rather have had $1 off instead. So think about that. What type of coupon could you use for a freebie? So I would say so if you, in your rewards club, you could have 15% off, or what I have is in mine, I'll show you in a second. In mine, I have like 50% off coupons at actually, at each level. So, at each level, I offer 50% off coupon. It has a maximum up to a certain amount that you're allowed to spend, which I have to adjust because it got converted from Canadian to American. So let's go look at that for a second. Hang on. Peacock says, with me, you get free candy because I'm trying to make everyone fat. Love it. Good morning, Storage Share. And good morning to everyone else who's come in. I love you so much. Okay. So as you can see, I have my own branding for Rewards Club. And you can do that yourself right here. You just hit edit branding. And everybody has access to this now where you can decide what you want. Now, your icons that you use have to be, they cannot be like, if you sell Pokemon, you can't use Pokemon images. Okay. You have to do something else. They cannot be copyrighted images. They have to be available free, copyright free. Okay. So make sure that you're careful about that, because otherwise you could get dinged heavily for this. Rewards Club. So in my Rewards Club in season 3 right now, I have a 15% off coupon that certainly says 69 off. That makes it sound like it's some sort of joke. Okay. I have to fix that. Hey, Shop with Tasha. And then I have a 50% off coupon. So I have 3 15% off coupons, 1 50% off coupons. Now, my margins, I buy low and I sell low. So my margins, I can afford 15% off. I'm okay with 15% off, and I'm okay with 50% off up to a maximum amount. And what I did was when I did that, like, what is the maximum amount that I'm willing to let people take off of something? I thought about things I have that are high end that are in my buy it now, that like if I offered 50% off of a $750 collectible vase, I would be very sad. I would be very sad if I didn't have a limit to it. So, yeah, the numbers are currently wonky because we did the switch midway through the season to Canadian dollars. And then the achievements right now, the achievements are weird because it says $13.80. So that's because our dollar at that time, $10 was worth $13.80 Canadian. So that's why that is. So I have to fix that. And I think I can we're going to find out. And then I'm going to do some editing. So then in my nest, it's pretty much the same. 3 coupons. Then I added for silver level a 25% off coupon. And then Clucker, you get a 30% off coupon and a 25% off coupon. Okay, I think I've gone too far. Coupon. There's just way too many coupons here, Kim. And then I added a $6 off your next purchase. And then, oh my God, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna adjust a bit. We're gonna adjust a bit. So let's go to season 4. So you go like that. You go to season 4. And then it says copy season 3 program. So I'm going to do that and then hopefully I can edit. So copy season 3 program. All right. And now it's copied it. So now I can make adjustments. So as you can see, it's going to show me my progress here. Let's just scooch a little bit closer. There we go. So number of shows watched. Now you can make this a lot. The minimum is 3. So I keep it at the minimum. And the minimum amount spent, we're going to change that from $13 down to $5. Done. Oh, minimum spend is 10. That's why it's like that. So 10. Done. Okay, minimum spend is 10. I have so many coupons. Okay, and then there's your coupons. So you have to decide how you want them to get to this level. So I just picked, and for bronze level, the first level, it is one of the 3 things. So either they make a purchase or they spend $10, which is make a purchase, or they watch 3 shows is the minimum. So that's why every once in a while in my shows, you'll suddenly see a whole bunch of people get egg. It's because they've finally gotten, I think you have to watch like 10 consecutive minutes of my show in 3 different shows to get the egg. So, yes, Kim's next coupon will be, I will pay you to buy my items. Yes, exactly. Peacock. Okay, so let's go to the tiers, the tier rewards. So I'm going to stick with the 15% off. I'm just going to change that 69 to a maximum discount amount of $50. And then I'm going to change this to a maximum of $100 off. And yeah, that'll do it for this one. So you can add another. So say I wanted to add another reward, like a price discount. So sorry, you can swoosh away the screen. If you swipe to the left, it will push away the chat so you can see the whole screen. So let's do, for this particular one, we're going to do a minimum purchase amount. The minimum purchase is going to be $5 and it's going to be $1 off, $5, and you get 1 of these coupons. And yeah, there we go. Next. Oh wait, no, I just added minimum purchase amount, $5, and done. Okay, so what you can do is you can save this as a draft, but we're just gonna run through this and do this. So I fixed that. And basically what you want to do is do that for all your levels. My suggestion is that as your levels increase, give a little bit, sweeten the pot a little bit. Sweeten the pot a little bit. All right, so we had $41 here, but I've dropped quite a bit. So let's do $35. And I'm okay with this. I just need to edit this down to more sensible Canadian. And 50 and 50 and done. Okay, so pretty much I am keeping this. I know 69 is funny, Canadian Chief, but I don't want anyone to think I did that on purpose because it's what it was. All right, so we're just going to fix this. So if you don't want to change much about your rewards club from last time, then you can just hit copy. You just have to go through and edit as you go. Holy cow. There's a lot of 69 in here. Oh my God, I didn't actually notice this. I'm amazed no one said anything about this. Because some of you guys would say something about this. All right, getting rid of the 69 in the clucker. All right, free range. We'll leave a 69 in the ultimate. How about that? All right, 100. Percentage off goes down to 50 and 50. So I'm just going to keep my coupons where they are because I don't mind how much I've spent on coupons. $5. Oh my God. Here we go again. 100. Oh my God. How many coupons do I have? Save draft. Okay, we made it to ultimate. Oh, thank God. Number of purchases, amount spent. 275. Percentage off coupon. We will leave 169 coupon. And then we're going to have 3 with a maximum discount. There we go. Look at that. All right. And a $5 off coupon. And another 50% off coupon. Done. And next. Okay. And then there you go. I have to go through this, and I can only publish this program once the season ends. I know 69 did look better, but there's 169 left. It's in Ultimate Clucker. There's 169 left. So save draft. And that's it. Now it's saved. And later on today, I know it sounds so, dear whatnot, it doesn't make sense if you're in the middle of a show. It would make a lot more sense if you could publish a few hours or even a day before the end of the next season. So I know there are a lot of red chats this morning thanks to my 69, which is quite funny. Peacock says, seeing your coupons now, I'm thinking I could have filled my van with Blue Mountain Pottery. I could fill your van, and then I could fill your van about 20 times over with Blue Mountain Pottery, Peacock. Easily. I have so much Blue Mountain Pottery. The haunted pottery piece is now on consignment. Is it? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Peacock has a piece of Blue Mountain Pottery that makes noises in the middle of the night. It's haunted. We're quite convinced it's haunted. Okay, so any questions about Rewards Club? I know this was a quick and simple version of how to do it, but I just want to show you can do it on your phone now. Oh yes, Canadian Chief needs to know how frequently does it make noise, Peacock? Inquiring minds want to know. I think it was howling a lot or making some sort of creepy sound. So go through that whole process, hit save draft, and then this afternoon, because at 3 p.m. is when the new season starts. So then you want to hit publish. So you'll go back to, let me just, it tells dad jokes. That would be scary. I'd be scary. Thrifting with ADHD. Good morning. So let's go back so I can show you where I was. So you're in your profile, and up at the tippity top is the little crown. You go there. This is the current season 3. And then you want to go to season 4. And then you can even edit it right now. I can change my mind. I might change my mind and switch to something else, and I might not publish until tonight so that I can make some edits tonight when I'm doing my show. So we'll go through all the fun stuff of figuring out Rewards Club again tonight. And maybe I'll even have a PowerPoint for you. I don't know. We'll see. And don't forget, you can make your own branding. So for example, if we wanted to change this, just tap on here. And you remember your photo here, your image here has to be something that you've created yourself. It cannot, or that's copyright free. So royalty free, copyright free images. You cannot use like a Pokemon image or a Lego image. It has to be something that's not copyrighted. And then your names have to be something that's not inappropriate. So don't come up with rude names, because that could get you blocked and whatnot. So you say, yeah, next here, and you can go through and edit all of them. Next tier, review and save. There we go. There we are. I didn't actually change anything, so I don't have to worry about, but you can actually edit your branding at any time. So if you decide that, if I suddenly decided I didn't like the egg thing and I wanted to switch to something else, then I could do that mid-season. So you can change your branding mid-season, but you cannot, once you've locked in and published your coupons, your rewards club tiers, and how you get there, the achievements, and then the coupons. Once you've done that, you can't edit it unless it's like clearly some huge mistake was made, like $1,000 off or something, and it's clearly was not your intention to add that many zeros. But Peacock says, I would suggest giving it a few days and edits before hitting publish. Yeah, ideally. So ideally, I should have done this a week ago. Ideally, I should have done this a week ago, but things were busy. So, but I think one of the things to do is to make sure that you look at what you have in your inventory that you offer to sell. And if, for example, like doing a 50% off coupon, that's my thing. That's my thing because I'm crazy. But that may not be something that's wise for you. Think about if somebody bought that Chanel purse for 50% off and I didn't have a maximum amount. I highly recommend always putting a maximum amount that they can discount off. So if it's 50%, it's up to only $200 or something like that. Make sure you have that maximum amount if you're going to do like high-end coupons, like 50% off. But I have to tell you that having 50% off coupons in my shows for people who have achieved egg did make them go, oh, I want to buy that. I know Sherman brooch at 50% off. Yeah, exactly. There's certain things where if you have a lot invested in it and somebody got 50% off on it, that would not be good. That would not be good for you or your business unless you can afford to. Again, there are businesses that do major giveaways and coupons and all that kind of stuff, and they consider it a loss leader. They write it off as a loss. And if you can afford to do that, then do that. But otherwise, be very careful. Think about all the stuff that you have in your inventory, because you may just be thinking about, oh, I usually do just $5 starts and most things it'll be fine. But you could have something in your buy it now that somebody could purchase. But at the same time, I'm saying having that 50% off coupon definitely did convert a lot of people who are just in my show hanging out to all of a sudden go, oh, you know what? I'm going to get 50% off this, this ring or that cool brooch or that cute pin. And so they do it. Hey, good morning, Alabama Matthew. How are you doing today? Okay, so any questions about that? I'm going to pin, or actually, I'm on my iPhone and my other phone is staring me in the face, so don't bid on this. Good morning, Jesus Saves. This is the reason it's $2,025 is because it's the year is 2025, so it's 2025 because there's goal planners. And I still keep saying I got to update the winter sticker to a summer sticker, but I will eventually do that. I promise. One of these days. I'll put it on my list. Maybe I'll do it. Well, maybe I'll design it. No, I won't be able to design it when I'm on a plane. I don't know. Maybe while I'm in England. Because it's going to be hot by then. So it is 10:18. Everyone, please share where you're from and what you sell. And if you have any questions, feel free. And if I've missed questions, I apologize. I'm going to look now to see if I missed any questions. Oh, and Thrifting with ADHD asked what time is rewards done. Rewards finishes today at noon Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dave, I got to see the rest of the context for that, Dave. Dave says, I always want to click to see what happens. Will it ask, are you sure? Will my bank allow the insanity? Oh, Lily, I'm sorry. I was just moving my foot. Good news. Romeo met the boarders, the people who are potentially going to be boarding Romeo while we're away in England. And there's D. Arkfish. She's new. And Peacock is from Outer Mongolia, and she sells tethers for hunting falcons. Everyone follow my friend D Archivist and the sassy vintage chick who's in here too, and they make me smile. Jesus Saves is in Tennessee. Tennessee's so pretty. There's so many pretty places in the world, aren't there? So it looks like we have we have somebody who's going to look after Romeo in their home, and he got along really well with them. So he is a dog who only likes dog people. If you don't have dogs, there's something wrong with you. Dee's in California. I'm in Ontario, Canada, not Ontario, California. I think my dog, yep. My dog is licking the rug, but her head keeps moving Lily, can you stop that? She's moving the table with her head because she's licking. Sorry. It's a little weird. Lily. Yeah, thank you. Stop. We would be neighbors if I was in Ontario, California. But then I'd be in the US. My sister ex-lot lives near Roseville. Yeah, Roseville. Like the pottery. That's the only reason I remember. They lived in Santa Cruz and then they moved, but she's Canadian. Northern California. Northern California where the girls are something. Keep on rocking me, baby. That Northern California? Keep on rocking me, baby. Dave from Alberta says, I got accused of being from Ontario and being a guy named Dewey in a show last night. Those t-shirt guys are weird. I do sell breakable collections as well. Hey, Krishan is in Northern California, Stockton. Check it out. Look at that. More keep on rocking me, baby. Northern California. There you go. I do not know my U.S. geography as well as I should. I used to know it a lot better when I was a kid. Jesus Save says, I'm trying to read, but the chat goes fast. Okay. I'm trying to stay motivated and get my Whatnot working for me. Yeah. You know what? It is really hard when you first start out on Whatnot to like get things going because you feel kind of alone. And that's why like coming to these kind of groups where you can meet other people and get to know people and let us know, like, when's your next show? What do you got going on? What are you going to be selling? People will come in from here and then you won't feel so much like you're trying to do this as an island. To make sure you reach out and get to know a lot of people on here. The community on here is the key to being a great seller on Whatnot, is building your community, getting to know other people. One of the things there's a lovely lady that worked at my auction, and she's going to come and help me. We're going to do an auction starting at toonie sale under the tent on Whatnot with the auction stuff. I'm trying to show the owner that we should be Whatnotting this stuff instead of doing just live auctions. And she wants to sell on Whatnot. She got that new offer where if you do a show within the first 7 days of being approved to be a seller, they will match. If you sell $150, they will match it and give you another $150, which is a great idea, except you're pushing so many new people who haven't gotten used to the platform yet. You're telling them, like, in a week, do a show and sell $150. And some people are like, oh, Sam not hit the 150 bonus. Yeah. Like, but Canadian Chief, you were in the room to help out, right? If Sam not didn't already know you, and already had built that community, no way. It's just that, like, Janita Marie says, I got that offer and only made 47. Janita, there are people who like have been on Whatnot for a long time, and every once in a while they have really bad shows. $47 is good for a first show. That's good. That is good. Be happy. That's great. I think the 150, I think it's pushing people and they're going to feel like they failed. Right? Like Genia says, I only made $47. You made $47. That's good. You sold $47 in your very first show on Whatnot. That's freaking amazing. D says, I did 69 my first show. Yeah, we should all aim just to do 69 because today the number of the day is 69. Canadian Chief says I didn't have 5 buyers in my first show. I had like one buyer in my first show. Yeah, any sales at all are great. I just feel like we're pushing. So I suggested to her, like, look, you could do a first show and it won't go well and you'll feel crappy about the app and you'll feel crappy about yourself, even though that's totally unfair to have that kind of pressure on yourself. And she was already really nervous about going live, so I said don't go live just for the sake of going live because of this $150. If you don't feel ready, then just let the $150 go, because most people aren't going to get it. Oh, Canadian Chief said, I had two, but a stipulation of the 150 bonuses, they'll match your sales up to $150, but you need 5 unique buyers as well. See, a lot of people are not going to be able to hit that. That just seems, I'm sorry, but that is hard to do. That is hard to do. There are shows that I do and I don't get 5 unique buyers. Oh yeah, all within 7 days. That's just way too hard. If in my opinion, this is my dear Whatnot moment. Dear Whatnot, I think that you need to start thinking about this live stream selling like other companies who allow people to live stream. You can't live stream on YouTube until you have a certain number of followers and a certain level of experience. You cannot live stream on TikTok until you've got a certain number of followers and a certain level of experience. You can't just hit the ground running. They have stipulations. They don't just let everybody. And I think that if you started doing that, that your quality of shows would go up. And I got a message on Instagram that came through last night, okay, that said, and I don't know why y'all kept watching this, but one of the Canadians said, I'm currently watching a Whatnot stream and the host has a flamethrower going and they electrocuted his boy breasts using a portable jump starter. There was also profane and offensive language, but yeah, and Terry saw it. And also, the person was smoking on air and smoking around the product, which is against terms of service. It's not in the community rules. It says, you saw this too. How are so many people going into shows like this? D says, I watched that guy and was shocked that he had that on his stream because you cannot sell those items. Yeah. Chief is like, I'm sorry about the jump starter part, but not the. I know. So like, yeah. Good morning, Pac-Man girl. Like, and there was a guy who throughout Whatnot Con just had stuff in his Buy It Now and then had a spinning thing with one thing on it that said, look in my Buy It Now. He was nowhere near the show. It's the same guy who's on TikTok. So like he's moved over from TikTok to Whatnot with no intention of actually following, like at least do it like, here's the community guidelines and overview. Like watch this video or something. I don't know. Vintiquity says, I need to be tagged with Dave when these things happen. See, I don't want people coming into those shows. See, the problem is, okay, so here's the thing. You tag your friends to come watch that, right? Because it's so insanely wrong and so not your vibe and so ridiculous. But then the algorithm bumps them up because so many people are coming in and the show is getting shared and people are getting tagged. D says, I don't care about the algorithm. Tag me anyways. That, yeah, Jania says, I started only watching my followed host list. Same. I stick with, most of the time I don't go into new shows unless I'm watching from the lobby first. It's boosting their algorithm. It's helping them out. And then Whatnot looks at metrics, okay? Whatnot really loves, yes, more can report it. Yes. More can report it if they think it's wrong. Everybody can hit the report button. And I think it's just, it helps boost them up, like they get the more viewers, which means they get seen by more people. So then more people are going to come in and see that stream and then think that's normal on Whatnot. And I don't know, my personal opinion is that is not what I want Whatnot to be known as, is the flamethrower, like electrocute yourself on Whatnot. Like, that's TikTok. TikTok, you go there for TikTok. That, like, we don't, I'm sorry, but I think we've got to have a barrier. I understand that there are TikTok, oh dear Lord, Pac-Man girl, I don't even want to know. Um I know that there are a lot of staff and whatnot who used to work for TikTok. And so they see how that stuff works to boost numbers. But I don't want Whatnot to get known as that, because then I'm gonna say, come and watch my lovely show. I'm gonna be doing ephemera and antiques and la la la. And it's gonna be so pretty and lovely and wonderful and family friendly. And they're gonna be, no, I heard from a friend that TikTok is a bunch of naked people and people electrocuting themselves and using flamethrowers and stuff. Like, no, right? Oh, he was drinking as well. He downed a whole bottle and almost got sick on camera. Also in community guidelines, let's just do a quick little community guidelines thing. Storage Share says, new Canadian sellers, ask a friend to co-host if you can make it work. Experienced seller goes live and then raid into you and you co-host them. You get a bonus. Yeah. The one cool thing about using co-host with somebody else is that if you co-host them into your show, their followers get notified that they're live. Janita says, if you're a new seller, Goliath Gala is doing free sponsored co-hosts. His whole team is great. Yeah, I love the fact that Goliath Gala will say, if you would like to come in and co-host for a bit, come on in. And it doesn't matter who you are. And he's not one of these, like, you have to pay me in order to do it. And I think that's lovely. I think that was very sweet. We rated into him the other day and it was really great. Alabama says, I watched a show the other day and the guy was smoking and he was told and he kept doing it and got reported. Yeah. So I mean, I don't report often, but when I do, it's because I'm highly, highly concerned about the future of Whatnot. Yeah, and a lot of, as Canadian Chief says, some people just don't care. A lot of people just don't care. They don't care if they get banned. They don't. There's attitudes of like, well, if people start talking about me on Reddit because that means that I've made it. I don't know what kind of world we live in now, where people talking about how horrible a human being you are and how bad you are with customer service is considered to be that you've made it. That's not my kind of made it. Back in my day, that was called the Better Business Bureau. And if you got reported there, right? Like, it's just totally different. Oh, he got to premier status and he's giving it back tonight. So I know a lot of people could benefit from telling their story. Yeah, that is awesome. So everyone follow Goliath Gala. Yeah, see, Whatnot is reactionary. So if you don't report something that's wrong, that you see that's wrong, they don't have staff and they don't scrape, like, they don't use AI scraping to look for things like they do on TikTok. Like, on TikTok, if they see that there's movement that clearly in the background, that means that you are in a moving vehicle or in a moving object, you're not allowed to stream. Even if you're not the driver, you're not allowed to stream in any moving object, including, like, I wanted to take my TikTok viewers on a boat cruise, a live boat cruise. That is not allowed. On Whatnot, let's read the community guidelines. Let's see what they were updated 3 days ago, everybody. So let's see. We've updated these policies when a user breaks these policies. So you can go to help.whatnot.com and then just look up community guidelines. Seller performance, yada, 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 shipping requirements, fulfillment cancellations, customer service responses and refunds, seller ratings, community policies. Here we go. Community policies. And community policies are for sellers and buyers. Every user on the platform plays a part in making the Whatnot community what it is. So, electrocuting yourself. Okay. All users deserve an enjoyable and safe experience that is free of untrustworthy or disruptive content and conduct. So, there are selling policies about what's prohibited, etc., etc. You can preen your Peacock. You can preen all you want. There's gambling. There's cards. Active show. Active show. So, to keep Whatnot shows engaging and entertaining, we do not allow inactive shows on Whatnot. When you're hosting a show, we require you to be actively engaged during the entirety of the show. Actively engaged. Don't leave the room for 10 minutes and then every once in a while check the chat to see if somebody asked a question. So you have to be actively engaged during the entirety of the show. A bathroom break, you could always co-host somebody in. It's basically Peacock for the people who are taking advantage of it. If you really need a bathroom break, they're going to be forgiving. Whether displaying and selling products, answering questions in the chat, or in conversation with your co-host or users in chat. Inactive shows include the following: even if buy it now items or a giveaway is pinned to the stream. Shows displaying a blank, still, or frozen screen for an extended period of time. Shows without any person present on screen for extended periods of time. Yeah, back in 3 minutes sign in case of emergency is they're not going to ding you for that. But if you like just leave, so like the turning of the wheel with it saying look in the buy it now, that may give you the okay, it's not a blank, still, or frozen screen for extended periods of time, but they're without a person present on screen for extended periods of time included in that. It's both. You have to do, like, you can't, if you're not interacting with the chat to say hello, how are you, and interacting in some way, that is against community guidelines. So reckless and dangerous behavior, which is what was happening in that other show. To ensure sellers remain in control of their show and to keep Whatnot users and others safe, we do not permit reckless and dangerous activity on shows, and we will end shows if individuals become unable to manage their show. This includes activities that could seriously injure a user, put a user's life in danger, inspire others to participate in harmful physical behavior, or otherwise lose control of their shows. So that show that was talked about in the IG chat, that show that was in the IG chat, that definitely qualifies. So life endangering pranks or stunts, including the dangerous use of props or weapons. So hooking yourself up to a portable jump starter for a car is life endangering prank. Incapacitation from alcohol or drug use. So that person who was chugging an entire bottle of alcohol and nearly being sick on camera, that is against. Also, operating a vehicle while streaming is not allowed, and a user losing control of their show. So if there starts to be inappropriate things happening in the chat and someone is saying, I hope you all die, go kill yourself, yada yada, like all kinds of stuff like that, and you do not go in and kick that person out of your chat, even though they're saying those words, not you. If you don't say that's not allowed, you're out, and boot them out of the room, you are responsible for that, because that's the experience you're allowing your viewers to have. He says, while we want our users to have fun and express themselves, this behavior can put both the show host and others at risk. So if you're going to do an adult type show, you need to make sure that you put on the sensitive content. When creating a show, all showers must toggle on the sensitive content or explicit content if they anticipate that their show will contain repeated profanity. So repeated profanity is allowed if you've got sensitive content on. Display items with permitted nudity. There's a list of what's permitted for nudity, or if their show will otherwise be sensitive for certain audiences. So there is an adult and explicit items policy that you need to read first. Smoking and or vaping, like this person hit all the things, didn't they? So smoking or vaping around inventory. To ensure the quality of items sold on Whatnot, you and your co-hosts may not use smoke products, including cigarettes and vaporizers, while in a live show and in proximity to inventory. This includes auction items, sold items, and giveaways. Let's see, user conduct, self-harm. Don't allow content that glorifies or promotes or encourages self-harm. That's what that person was doing. Explicit content. Again, you need to look at the sexual content and nudity and graphic or obscene content restrictions before you do a show. So somebody who's like, you have to make sure, if you're going to say you're going to do a evening show where you're showing off lingerie, make sure that you're following the guidelines for that. Smoke free, pet free, no perfumes, and my jewelry is also gluten free. That's important. That's in here too. All jewelry must be gluten free, Peacock. So I'm glad you're following that. So there is like a huge list. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that children there's a restriction on how children are allowed to interact within a live stream. So if you have kids in your house that are helping you out, you have to be over the age of 18 to have an account. Teens that are between 13 and 17 can use Whatnot if they follow the requirements, and the account is owned by a parent or legal guardian who is going to take responsibility. Anyone under 13 cannot use Whatnot. This policy applies even if a parent is present. Individuals under 13 may assist in the selling process, for example, handing an item to a parent to run in an auction, but cannot operate the app or be the focal point of a stream. So you can't have a kid hold up something straight into the camera and they're the focal point of the stream. That is not allowed if they're under the age of 13. So make sure, there's all kinds of other things. There's feature abuse, troll bidding, shill bidding, tipping abuse, referral abuse, all kinds of abuses that you can do. There's a whole list. Community guidelines. All right. And Vitiquity for the driving says, that's why I always end stream between thrift store when live thrifting. Yes, because you can't just, before they added this policy, I would put people in a box. I would put everybody in a box, so you just had like darkness while I drove, and then we would arrive at the next destination. But now you do have to end your stream. You can restart a stream. You could just say to people, don't leave, I'm coming back. But you definitely have to end the stream and then restart it, which you can learn about restarting a stream by going to help.whatnot.com. Okay, soapbox over. I've said a lot. So highlights for Canadians in the room is that the strike is still, we're in strike limbo. It looks like it's going to a vote, hopefully soon. Hopefully this week it will go to a vote to the members, and hopefully the members say yes, but if they don't, we're going to a strike. So a strike could happen next week. Or earlier, I should note, or earlier. Okay, last call to share your shows and ask your questions. This is going to be a short show. The dude resells. Hello. Yes, in Canada, we have the Canada Post, a strike that's looming. The union is currently in a strike position. If you go up to my show notes, it's the first thing that I talk about in my show notes. Then there's all kinds of other stuff. Are you going live thrifting, Vintiquity? That's exciting. Are you going live thrifting or someone else is? You're on today. Everyone follow Vintiquity, one of the OGs of Whatnot Canada. Alyssa, you got your Whatnot pennant. That's awesome. Yay! I'm so happy. Let's see who's on right now. Who's on? I try to follow all the Canadians that I can. So I'm looking on my For You page to see who's on right now. Ooh, someone's doing fishing clearance. But it's in the States, so it's too much money to ship up here. Da 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 da. Okay. Ooh, Playing Dead. My first vinyl record show is Thursday. Yes, awesome. What time? Let me look at Playing Dead. Playing Dead, view profile. You're new to the vinyl category. Music has always been an important part of my life, and I hope to share. Ooh, that's awesome. Also, the husband and I have been selling crystals, gems, and rocks for a little while under Tommy the Goblin King. I love that name. Oh, that's awesome. Looks like you got some awesome stuff. Follow. First live show is on the 5th at 7:20 p.m. Great timing there. Playing Dead. Am I on this afternoon? I will not be. Thank you for reminding me. I will not be on this afternoon. You all. I'll be on this evening, but I'm not popping up till later. I'm going to edit that. Thank you, Terry. Moving. I'm going to put that in September. Okay, update. Yeah, I will not be doing a pop-up today. I have to do a whole bunch of paperwork. I will be on tonight at 7:40 something. And I love the fact that Playing Dead, your first show you're doing at 7:20 p.m. That is brilliant, because what happens is when you have your show at like 7 or 7:30, it you get clogged up with all the other notifications for all the other shows. But if you do like 7:20, all the 7 p.m.s you swipe away your notifications. You don't always get to like the 18th one where you're going to be. So that way you're on an odd time. So it's more likely that people are going to see your notification and come into your show. Because I'm sure you're going to watch yourself and see what happens when you get a whole bunch of notifications at the same time from Whatnot, because it always usually happens at like the top of the hour or the half hour, usually at the top of the hour. People are used to scheduling for meetings and such, scheduling meetings for like 7:30, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 8:30, right? Nobody schedules a meeting for 8:10. But I think also it makes it easier to remember. The Dude Resell says, I've wondered about that with our show times, was going to do it on the 9s. Yeah. So yeah, if there's a number that you just really love, like a 9s, then yeah, 7:09, 7:19, 7:29, 7:39. I wouldn't do the 59 because that's too close to being within but if you're off a little bit, it's more likely that people are maybe not 29 either. So not 29. So 9, 19, not 29, 39, and 49 would be perfect. Buy Now Shop 59 says, I do mine in the 7s. Yeah, it's a way to sneak your way through. Now, if everybody starts doing that, if everybody starts doing it, then it's going to be, yes, thank you. I think that's where I'm going to go, Angie. If everybody starts doing that, then there's going to be, then maybe there's just going to be constant notifications. But I always find that if I start right on the hour, like if I try to do right on the hour, even if I'm doing a raid train, I always try to go on like 3 minutes earlier. Also, because it's a good idea to go on a few minutes earlier in case you have problems getting on. At least you got some time to try and figure it out. Yeah, that's one of my recommendations. Okay, last call for questions and share your shows. We're going to go into East Ender Resales, who's in Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, yeah. Storage Share says, I used to book my meetings to start at 9:04 or 9:07 because it made my boss crazy. I love it. I love that. 59 and 69 wouldn't work. 59, big happy break. The thing with 69 is not 69 won't work because there is no 69 in, at least in on the clock. I saw that rooster on the road, Kim, and I didn't run. Thank you for not running over my brother. I appreciate that. Ooh, the Dude Resales has a big shipment of Joe's and Hudson's jeans. Any tips? I'm shaking in my boots. Oh my goodness. Canadian Chief, are you still in the room? Because the Dude Resales has got Joe's and Hudson's jeans, which I have no clue what those are, but they sound interesting. The best thing to do, the Dude Resales, first of all, I would suggest, like, let's get you a logo. And let's look at your profile. Okay, you're following some folks. You've got 330 followers. You're following 35 people. That's good. That's a good start. You're single dadding. My son is the dude. Aw, my daughter is the brain. I love that. Okay. So I would say, first of all, let's load up your show with all the cool things. Today you've got 9:30 p.m. You got sweet and sour candy freeze. So I would load up your buy it now, like your shop. You've just got the lizard up right now. I'd say add some more stuff to your shop. Let's see some more of the things that you're going to sell, even if you do like 5 of each of the different categories. So if you've got some jeans, just show some pictures and book that show well in advance. Like especially if you got a lot of money in that, make sure you book your show well in advance. Go into all of these chat shows, tell people about what you sell, and I think you will do well. You will do well. Make sure that, I would say, for the jeans, they land on Wednesday. Okay, perfect. So as soon as they come in, I would say, it depends on your dad's schedule, but if you could do like 10 listings, like put all of the jeans in their size categories, or their style categories, and then their sizes, and then start listing, so that you can literally, I don't know if you've watched Renzi. So if you want to see how someone runs through a lot of stuff, watch to learn how to do it. So if you want to sell anything, but if you want to sell, check out how Renzi does stuff. So especially for your jeans, you want to just watch one of Renzi's morning shows so that you can see. Now, he does giveaways throughout, so I don't necessarily recommend that, because that's costly. You're in the States though, so you could do some giveaways of like things that go in a plain white envelope. Thank you. Have a great day too, Cher. Love you. So they're worth $150 to $250 retail. Yes. So definitely the dude resells. Go watch Renzi shows. He's on like every single morning. Every single morning. He's probably on right now. It's just I haven't gone into his show in a while, so it doesn't show high on my For You page right now. But Renzi's on like every morning. Yeah, I just tagged him up above. So just scroll up, RNZY. He's right up above. I tagged him. And you can click right in. He's probably view profile. Shows. He's got a show today at 7 p.m. I've never seen him do an evening show, but definitely check out his morning show. No. Thank you, Heart Centered Soul. How are you? So I just find Renzi, it's like, I just find the way that he's got everything set up. His setup is great. The way that he does his inventory. You can also check out his Instagram, which is the same. Um, and you can learn a lot from him there too, just from the tips that he gives. But watch how he does his shows. Watch how he sets up. He also has he has really great moderators. You're new, so you're not going to have a lot of people. You can always ask for moderators. Yeah. Oh, Terry, thank you for the tip. You don't need to do that. I love you. Thank you so much. But that's what I would recommend, is see how he sets things up, so that he can literally, and then the way he does his listings. So he's got like Nike hoodies in a certain like colorway. He does like he does generalizing things, like there'll be general Carhartt or Nike or whatever, and then he'll say what the sizes are. But the mods help out a lot with that, but pre-listing will help you a lot. Also, Philly Flipper does a lot of really great pre-listed shows. I don't know how he runs through so much stuff with the way he does his pre-listing, so you can always check out that. There's so many great sellers. Watch what they do. Yeah, Paul is amazing. So watch what they do. Here's the secret to Whatnot, building your Whatnot business, is always learning. Never stop learning. Never stop taking what you love from someone else and using that in your show. And try it out. Now, comparison is the thief of joy. And what happens a lot is we say, oh my God, look at Renzi. He's selling like crazy. He's got like 300 people in his room. And he's able to sell these things starting at $59. And I can't get people to bid at $24. Well, you're new. He's built up. He's worked his tail off to get to that point, right? You too are going to have to start at zero, just like he did, and work your way up. It takes a lot of time and energy. And yes, Heart Centered Soul says, don't be afraid to adapt and change. If you try to say, I tried that before and it didn't work, I did that in my first show and it didn't work. Well, guess what? 6 months from now, you have an entirely different business, an entirely different community and whatnot. And that thing that didn't work in your first show could like be amazing in your 20th show or your 40th show. So never go back, never say never to anything. Try different ways, go back and try things again. If you look at my resources down below, my free resources down below, you can open up that QR code and just take a picture of it and open up later on your phone. There's a whole bunch of links to a whole bunch of different things. I have a goal planner for the year, which is Whatnot specific. It is for Whatnot sellers. So I've aimed it at Whatnot sellers. So you can like do a goal for just do planning for a week or a month and then change things up. See what worked, what didn't, what can I change up this month? What can I try different? It is going to be a lot of work and a lot of time to build up your community on Whatnot. Do not do resells unless you can afford to. You're a dad and your job is to get money. Do not sell those jeans at next to nothing. Do not sell them at wholesale. Do not do that. If you think that at minimum someone should pay for $200 jeans, that they should at least pay, $50, then you start those at 49, right? Like do not do, if you see, yes, there are sellers out there. There are sellers out there who start at zero and they run everything at $1 and eventually they do well and they make money. But there's a lot of sellers that will brag to you, "Oh, I start everything at $1." Yeah, but they don't tell you what their bottom line is, right? They'll brag to you about how much they made. And here's my thing about that. Somebody, I can't remember if it was Shelby Belby or somebody else, posted on Instagram that like so sick and tired of the people on the Whatnot sellers who have to brag about how much money they made and tell you how great they are. My father always said, if you need to tell people how great you are, you ain't. You aren't. You're not great. You're not great. Because if you have to tell people, people know whether or not you're good. Don't you don't need to tell people that you're good. There's no reason for that. They'll know it. They'll just know it. There's no reason to post onto Facebook and say, "Hey everybody, just so you know, you too can make it on Whatnot because I just sold $10,000." Yeah, but how much did that cost you? Like, and yeah, the proof is in the pudding. So the best thing that you can do is absolutely do not try and compare yourself to other people, because every single person has a totally different business, and that's the beauty of Whatnot, is it's not cookie cutter. It's 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 dynamic. It's different. You can try different things. You can change it up. You can do flash sales. You could do buy it now only. You could do. There's so many things. That is what I love. And Patricia said, I made that first mistake on my first show. Yeah, starting way too low. The dude resell says, I bought a Target box for $1 starts to try to get some of the first 1,000 sales. Yeah, so here's my other mom advice for you. From single mom, former single mom, because I guess I'm not a single mom anymore since she's grown up, to a single dad. Yes, a dynamic. So the 1,000 sales, the rush to 1,000 sales. Here's what I'll say. If you are consistent on Whatnot and build your business, you will be able to take out what I call like a paycheck, right? Your payout from Whatnot every 2 weeks or every week, you can take out a consistent amount that will grow as you build your business. And the 1,000 sales will take care of itself. If you focus on the 1,000 sales, you are actually going to go slower. I've seen a lot of people who still have something in their buy it now that says, buy a sticker to help me get to 1,000 sales. And they're still not at 1,000 sales. Because you know what? People focus on delivering a great product and at as best a price as you can without hurting your bottom line, and a great entertainment. This is QVC on steroids, okay? So this is about having fun. So first and foremost, if you're so focused on getting to that 1,000 sales, so you're selling a bunch of stuff that maybe people don't necessarily want. I mean, if you got it for $1, what's it worth? And how much time and energy does it cost you to package up that thing for $1 that is going to be 30 cents you have to pay? If you sell something for $1 on Whatnot, you're paying 8% commission, 2.9% payment processing fee, plus 30 cents per item. So $1 automatically, just with the 30 cents per item, becomes 70 cents. So in that way, it's not worth it. But I mean, focus on the fun, focus on the experience, focus on your own fun. What makes, when you go into other shows, what is it that you enjoy about other shows? And could you do that thing that they do that makes you feel like it's fun? And it may not be, you don't have to be silly. If you want to be silly, you can be silly. You don't have to be silly. You can, you do not have to light yourself on fire. Please don't do that. It's against terms of service. We already talked about that. You do not have to do ridiculous things. You do not have to strip down naked. You do not have to do any of those things to be entertaining, but find something that you find is fun. One of the things that I started doing, I switched it up. I was so focused. I was so worried about selling. I was like, I need to sell. I need to sell. Oh my God, I'm on here. The whole point of this place is that you're supposed to sell. So I need to sell and I'm not selling. So I must be a failure. And then I switched it up and I said, no, I'm just going to go on and I'm going to have fun. Today it's going to be about fun. I'm going to put some stuff in my buy it now and I'm just going to have fun. And you know what? That show, did I sell anything? No. I did pie in the face. I sold absolutely nothing. I didn't even, at that time, we didn't have tips. I pie in the face. We just had fun. We laughed ourselves silly and people came back to hang out with me because I did something ridiculous. But it wasn't, because also they knew that they could come in and I'm not going to be saying like, why aren't you buying from me? Why, what's wrong? I've been in shows where sellers have been holding one thing up and nobody buys it. And they're like, oh, you don't want that? Okay, fine. What about this? And they hold that up and like, oh, nobody wants this either. Don't say that. Just be like, hey, yeah, okay, we're going to move on to the next thing. And if there's something that you're looking for, let me know. But let's check out something else. I'm going to show you this. The thing is that if you don't tell me why you love that thing, why the fork should I love that thing? And why should I buy that thing if you don't even like it? Like, if I picked up poor little Brewster here and said, isn't this the ugliest thing you've ever seen? I could say it's haunted and that would probably sell it. But like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I don't know why anyone would want it. It smells like dirt. It doesn't actually smell. He smells lovely. He smells like nothing. If I started just being like, this is the crappiest thing ever. This is horrible. Nobody wants this. Yeah. Melody's like, haunted dolls don't sell. Don't bid against me. Then, if I'm just going to be negative and like, oh yeah, I've got this thing. Right? Now, if being negative is your shtick, then do it, because it actually does work in some categories. It works. But in other categories, holding up a piece of clothing and saying, this is the ugliest thing. He's in the buy it now. Like holding up clothing going, oh my God, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Like, this would make everyone look horrible. Caroline Shop, I will be doing it again, but basically I did just a quick overview of how to do rewards. Just go to, when you go to your minimize show, you go to your account, view profile, and right here is the little dot. You're going to go there and then you're going to set up, you're going to go to season 4. There we go. Season 4. And then you can go through, it will be blank. I've already done it, but it'll be blank, but then you can edit the program and it'll take you through step by step. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Terry. Did you just buy Brewster? Is Brewster having a new home now? Yay! Brewster, you're going home to Terry. Yay! Transitions for no sales need to be better for us. I don't want to be the what's wrong with you people guy. Yeah. So it's really good to just be like, Time Hop Treasures does the cutest. I love when she does this. It's so cute. She does say, thanks for looking. She does it in that way. Thanks for looking. And then she'll move on to the next thing. And then if that doesn't sell, thanks for looking. She doesn't, and there's no resentment in it, right? There's always just thanks for looking. And now the next thing. I sometimes get surprised when people buy something because I'll be like, oh, you like it too? Oh my gosh. No problem, Caroline Shop. And if you want to, you can go to my YouTube and just rewatch this over again. It's live. I'm live on YouTube as well right now. Yeah, we have to set up reset up our rewards, but you can just copy it. So find something. Yeah, if you, it's Red Rooster Shoppy. The Red Rooster was taken. Paid tribute. Yeah, if you read my show notes, it's basically that the update for Canada Post Strike is that Cup W asked for it to go to arbitration. Canada Post said no, so it's going to go to a vote to the membership. If the membership votes no, which they probably will, if the membership votes no, then it's going to go to a strike. And God only knows when it's going to be over. Melly says, I think I'm going to do something famous literature theme related this time. Ooh, how long do I think? I honestly don't know how long it will take them to organize a vote. It probably won't take them long. Before they strike, they could be striking as early as this week or next week. Again, the union can say, the union will make a decision. Yeah. The dude resell says, will Whatnot give Canada shipments grace because of the strike? Yeah. So Whatnot, and I'll go over this tomorrow morning again. Whatnot will be allowing bring your own label. You can switch to Chit Chats now so that you don't have to worry about it. And there will be some grace if you're using bring your own label because of the strike. But yeah. So, but Whatnot's been awesome. Whatnot, because of this whole strike thing, Whatnot extended our awesome discount of consignment commission discount, so it's only at 4% still until September 7th. Hopefully by September 7th this is all over, because holy cow, I'm so tired of talking about the strike. Buy Now Shop 59 says, I do have a bad habit of saying no one wants, no problem, it will live with me a little longer. Yeah, but you know what? If that's your thing and you're not saying it with resentment in your voice, then it's fine. I think it's when people hear like, fine, you don't want to buy this, nobody wants to buy this, whatever. I mean, sometimes when I'm doing Absolute Flipping Deal says, hi Kim, had fun at the auction on Saturday, and Carolyn did too, said she would like to help again and enjoyed working with Sherry. Yay. Thank you so much. Hopefully Absolute Flipping Deals Donna came with her friend Carolyn and saved my buttocks. Not only did Donna bring a sound system so the 5 people in the room could hear me. We had 28 bidders, so that's not bad. 28, 29 bidders, something like that. It was not super well attended, but thank you so much, Donna and Carolyn, for helping out. You guys were awesome. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and we had some technical difficulties with the auction system, so we had to go old school paper. It was fun. The dude resell says, the dude likes to be silly and post a start price of $100 for silly items. Do you think that's cute? Or, you know what? The dude could do start at $100 as like a fun little thing. And then you can you can start the auction again and then put it down to the price you want. So kind of like, all right, who wants it for $100? And run it. You never know. One day somebody might bid just for the fun of it. There are people with money who will do it, so you never know. And if that's just a fun thing, like I want to be silly and I'm just going to run this for $1 million. I don't think you can do $1 million on Whatnot, but you could run it for like I could run this for $2,000, right? So yeah, try it. If you guys have fun with it, keep doing it. Just keep doing it. The most important thing about Whatnot, the successful people on Whatnot are themselves. They have as much fun as they can. It's not a grind. They have fun. And whether they're just like, in a card shows, you can hear the like excitement in their voice because they really love what they're selling. And so like when they get excited with the audience. And I think that's why card shows work so well. I think when we're doing like vintage shows, it's because we really love this stuff and we're talking about why we love this stuff. So just have fun. Also, you can always switch it up. So the jeans, you could do like what is the history of the company, or some like jean trivia, like clothing trivia. You could add all kinds of things in. Also, Angie's This and That is doing a family fashion raid train. It's the 15th of June this month. It's the 3rd Sunday in every month. So you can always sign up for that. Private message her right there, Angie's This and That. Private message her to get in on that raid train. it was really, her very first one was super successful. It went really well. Congratulations again, Angie. You are now officially a RAID train conductor. Love you, Donna. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you so much. And everyone follow Absolute Flipping Deals. Eventually, she's going to have a show. Time Hop. Did you hear me talking about you? I was talking about how you do that really, really cute thing where you say, thanks for looking. Thanks for looking. And you do it that. I just love it. It's my favorite thing. Not that what you don't sell, and that's why you're saying thanks for looking, but I just love how you do that. And like there's never any resentment in your voice. You're just like, thanks for looking, and you do the next thing. And I was suggesting that people be like Time Hop. Thanks for looking. It's my favorite thing. Yeah. I just tune in to hear you say that. Buy Now Shop 59 says June 6th at 5:07 p.m. Eastern jewelry show. Yay! Shop with Tasha says after showing 80 items, I get deflated. Yeah. So there's another topic. So, oh God, I'm tired. So I'm just yattering on when I should just raid someone. So there's another topic is it, how long should you do a show for? The answer is how long can you do a show for? And if, yeah, and as Shop with Tasha said, like if you do 80 items and they don't all sell, it can be a little bit deflating. But it just means that the right person wasn't in the room that day. If you had a brick and mortar store, there's days where you sell a whole bunch and there's tons of people in your store. And there's other days where it's crickets and you're just twiddling your thumbs, doom scrolling on Instagram and TikTok because nobody's there and nobody's buying. So Whatnot isn't that much different. Bev, what did you purchase? Thank you so much for the purchase. I didn't even, why it's in my way. Buyers. Wait, no. Oh my gosh. I'm not used to this system. The brown vase. Where is that? I think it's downstairs. It's gorgeous. I'm so glad you got it. Hi, Sandra. How are you? Dude resell says 3 hours seems like my limit. Yeah. So I'm so glad you got it, Bev. It's so pretty. Time Hop says on my Friday shows, I try to do 50 items. Yeah. So find your, again, that's the cool thing about Whatnot is you don't have to like do one single way. There are so many ways to Whatnot. The 50 shades of Whatnot, the 50 different ways you can Whatnot. So find your niche, but then there's gonna be some days where you're not feeling it. Like you're just not feeling very well. You want to do a show, but you're not feeling that great. Give yourself some grace. Knock it down. Like if you still want to do a show, but don't do a long show. Try to do a shorter show. Now, what does the algorithm like? The algorithm likes it when we run for longer. So you'll notice that after you've run for an hour, your numbers will go up a little bit. And that is because you're being shown by more people. And when you get to 2 hours, you get shown by more people. So it does help to get more people, more eyes in the room. And that is also a reason why, say you have 50 things in your show and you've got the time and the energy, run through the stuff that didn't sell one more time, because the people that were in your show at the beginning are probably not still in the show when you run stuff again, and new people have come into the room who didn't get a chance to see that other stuff. And if you don't run an auction, they're unlikely to buy. That's just how it is. Buy Now Shop 59. Terry says, I did something different last week. So I ran through all my box Avon for about the third time. And then I started selling 5 for $7. Oh yeah. So like a clearance thing. That's a brilliant idea. Hi, Shauna. Yeah, that is a really great way. Like, so run it through, see if anybody wants it singularly. Or you could do on choice. So it's like, you could do very similar to what I do as an auctioneer, right? It's like, okay, so here's a tray. There's like 10 in here on choice, so much a piece. Pick which one you want. And you run that. And someone, if nobody picks it, then you say, okay, like the whole lot, who wants it all starting at $5 or whatever. Angie says, that said someone in another show said they got rid of bundling. Is that true? No. Fake news. There's a lot of fake news out there. Yard Yeller Cockadoodle-doo asks, would you do surprise pop-up shows? Yes, but I would recommend that unless you're like a huge seller, that you pre-book them. So if you notice in my shows, dear Lord, I do have a lot of shows, don't I? Oh, the analytics are right here on here. Okay, I'll remember that for tonight. Um, if you look at my shows, you'll see that if we scroll way down, you'll see I have some of these like pop-up Where Is She Now shows. So I have pop-ups scheduled so that I can go to that one. It's September 16th, but if I go into a store and I've got like that one, that particular one has 71 um bookmarks. If I go into a market or a mall, or I just decide, you know what, it's Sunday, but I feel like I want to sell, then I can pull that up and just hit start show. Like I can't right now because I'm already live. Oh no, see, it shows it because it doesn't understand. But if I hit start show, it wouldn't let me start the show. But I can just go into it, even though it's September. I could go into it if I wasn't live right now, and I could start this show and go live from wherever I am. So you have that option to just pull up. You can book a whole bunch of them. I'd say book 10 pop-ups at a time and put them in way in the future so that people can bookmark them, and you can build up those bookmarks, and you can move them like once a week if you need to. But that would be my suggestion for pop-ups, that they're still a surprise, but then if people want to get notified when you pop up, because a lot of people are like me and they follow way too many people. And so I have my notifications turned off so that I only get notified on my phone if I've bookmarked your show. So I go in and bookmark all my friends as much as I can. Whenever I have a chance, I go in and start bookmarking all of the people that I want to go and see if I have time. And then I only get notified when they go live that way. And so if you don't have, if a lot of people do that, they're like me, they don't want to get notified every 5 minutes of 100 people. So having bookmarks and building bookmarks is important. But if you don't want to do that, you can just go live and pop up, and people will come in. Hello, Tash, Sean. Sean is Treasures in Art. Tasha was underneath you. That's why. Oh, Time Hop Treasure says, today my polymer clay earrings at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. Yes. You got rid of all the boxed Avon by now, Shop 59. That is awesome. Yeah, the dude resell says that's just what the brain said last night. Reran to new joiners and got several more sales. Yeah, Time Hop Treasures is in here. I always tell this story. Time Hop Treasures had this really awesome collection of vintage cake pans, cartoon character cake pans, like super collectible. There's people who go absolutely bonkers for these things, and most of them were like new, I think, or they were new. I don't know. Anyways, they were absolutely gorgeous, and they were so many fun different characters. And she ran through them, and a bunch of us were there, but we weren't into cake pans. And she hadn't sold any of them, and she's like, "Well, I guess I'll end my show." And I think it was Shauna. I can't remember who said, "Can you run them again?" She ran them again because there was only like 20 odd of them, and someone came in and started buying. And if she had just closed her show, she wouldn't have made all those sales. And so she sold a significant number of them because that person finally came into the room. They just all of a sudden must have been on the app, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love cake pans. And there's cake pans. Who knows? They could have been searching, because you can go to the app and search for what you want, right? And then saw there's a live show and she's got a whole bunch of cake pans. I'm going in. So always, if you have time, rerun. Crazy Beat Lady said, would it be a big deal if I don't get my stuff to the Chit Chat for an extra day late? It's not a humongous deal. The faster you can get your stuff shipped, the better. But sometimes life gets in the way. You can always message Trust and Safety at whatnot.com. Trust and Safety, all one word, at whatnot.com, and let them know of the reason why you've had a delay, whether it's a personal medical issue or something else that means that you've had a delay in being able to ship, just so that they're aware of it. It will definitely mark on your how long does it take you to ship thing, and it will say that it takes you a while. But that's not always accurate. Those numbers are getting a little bit better, but they're a little bit inaccurate. Bev says, I have a Bert and Ernie cake pan from my childhood. Ooh, I can't remember what kind of cake pan no, my mother made like the cakes that you cut out and turn into shapes. That was her thing. Shop with Tasha says, is there a way to do shows for other people but protect yourself financially? I don't want to declare money that I didn't actually make. So I am not a financial expert, Tasha, but if I was to say somebody brought you like on consignment a whole bunch of things to sell is what I assume you mean, then I would charge something for it. First and foremost, I would charge like a seller's fee, commission. So at least there's something for your time and energy. But what you do is you're gonna sell for them, you're gonna get your payout, and then you're gonna be paying them. Just make sure you have that all tracked so that when it's time for taxes, you can show, yes, this income came in, but here is the money going back out again because I took a 20% commission and 80% went to the person the consigner got an amount. Has anyone applied for co-host beta from Whatnot? There's a co-host beta? What's the co-host beta? What's the co-host beta? Now I have to look it up. What are you talking about? Tell me more. Co-host beta. I have not been invited to that. Inviting a co-host. I don't see any chatter about that online yet. But so I've not seen that the dude resells. The co-hosting is available right now. The co-hosting is available to everybody, but maybe they have like a co-selling co-hosting that they're testing out. One of the things that they do is that they only invite certain people. So maybe it went into the Discord and I missed it. I don't always pay attention to the Discord general. No, not there. Where you invite a seller to co-host, but they can sell on their account. Co-selling. No, I have not heard about that beta, but it sounds like a great idea. And I hope that that their beta test goes well. The one way that you can do co-selling right now using co-hosting is something that the Thrifty Fox Shop and Thrifting with ADHD did a couple of weeks ago, where the Thrifty Fox Shop was the host, and so she sold stuff by auction and in her Buy It Now, and then Thrifting with ADHD showed items that she had in her marketplace so people could click on her profile and then buy directly from her marketplace and buy from her, and she made a lot of sales that way. So it's kind of like it's a Buy It Now show for your co-host. Yeah, so it's a way around that. I think co-selling will be great in some circumstances, but you need to make sure there's going to have to be a learning of coordination. East Ender Resales. I'm sorry, I was going to raid into you. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in everybody from East Ender Resales. Everyone, please follow East Ender Resales. She has amazing stuff, and she's a new seller. I started I said, I'm going to be rating, so everyone get your questions, and then everyone started to get your questions. Engraver of Trees says, best way to grow attendance in shows, I'm getting between 3 and 12. Share your shows. Share your shows. Share your items. Preload your show if you can. Market is my suggestion. Flash Finds Zon is just started. Okay. Oh, I went into him last time, so I don't. Thank you. I went into him last time. They do have really good deals on electronics. I think what we'll do is we will go into Louis, who's doing WWE figures. Flash Finds, yeah, I just did Flash Finds the last time because I bought a bunch of stuff. Thank you. So the best way to grow your attendance is to share your shows and also share your items. A lot of people don't realize that you can go to, where's my seller hub? So I can go to my show and I can pick something that I think is really cool. So pin, and then I can open this up, and then you go right here to share, right there to share. And you can share the item to your Instagram or your Facebook or whatever. So let's go to Instagram. Now, do I suggest sharing to everybody in Whatnot Messenger? No, only the people that you really know. Say, hey, I'm going to be doing, or like Eastender Resales, send me a message. And I'm sorry, I was doing this show, so I missed, but send me a message to say, I have some Boseware, because she knows I love Boseware. So she's like, I have a piece of Boseware, to like entice me to come in. Not yet, little squirrel. We're still in limbo. We are still in limbo. So I can go to, I don't want to go to messages. I want to go to share. No, share. And Instagram stories. So I'm going to my Instagram stories, and then I'm just going to share to Instagram without copying the link. So I can share it to my Instagram stories. Got distracted by a meme, whatever. Real, that's what they're called. Hello, Elgas Bazaar, how are you? So yeah, my suggestion is share your shows, but share your items too. A lot of people think I just have to share my shows, but if you share your items, the really interesting thing about that is that pick the stuff that you think everyone's going to really love, right? Or that, if you have a following, if you're a vintage seller, for example, vintage clothing seller, and you've got like a banger vintage dress that's just absolutely amazing, like put it on your Instagram. Put it on your Instagram. If you want to see somebody who does a really great job of advertising the stuff that she's going to have on Whatnot to her Instagram, it is my friend Kylie, Afternoon Antique Co. Afternoon Antique Co. There she is. And so she not only does she use the share button, but then she also like takes little videos and stuff of things that she's got for sale that are going to be on Whatnot. And she puts them up so that people can see it. So she's always got, before she does a show, she's been doing advertising of all the things that she sells on her Instagram. Look how cute that thing is. So she puts all the stuff on. She makes sure she's got the right tags. So if she's selling Disney stuff, she tags it. Individual items, like, yeah, shows are great to share, but individual items get you those actual sales that people are going to come in because they saw that thing that they want or those things that they wanted. So give them a reason to want to come into your show. The other thing is if you go to, let's just go to the For You page for a second. Oh no, cancel. I almost hit end show. Minimize. Okay. So if you go to your home page, to your For You page, right? And you're scrolling through here, ask yourself, when I look through the For You page, what are the shows that entice me? What shows make me want to come in? Remembering that one show is going to have just the thumbnail and the other show is going to have an actual live image of what's going on in that show. So right now, Kim Thigh has nothing in the background. So no shade on Kim. She's got 13 people in the room. She's selling pet accessories, and that's really popular. But what I would recommend is that this white part that she has here has at least something written on it. So there's something to look at. So it's just not a blank screen. Even when you're in the show, it's a good idea to have something in the background so that it's not just a blank screen when you have to switch between things. So you can see how some shows are going to make you want to click in and other shows aren't. So ask yourself, what is it that makes you want to click into a show? Then do that thing on your own shows. Because people are going to be in what I call the lobby. They're going to be in the lobby and they're going to be making a decision about whether or not to come into your show based on what they see right here. And it's going to be 50-50 whether you're going to get a live feed or if it's just going to be your thumbnail. So you want your thumbnail to be fun, interesting, engaging. Tell people why you want them to come in, but use as few words as possible. Because you literally, as you can see, like I'm I'm just scrolling, right? Engraver tree. So yeah, so if I like, which one is going to go live here? So if I hold my finger down on this one, come on, you're making me look bad here, thing. Oh, I realized she's not moving right now, so that's why I thought that it was a static image. So let's go to one other one. The boo boo. Okay, so this person right here. Oops, what happened? Let's try this again. All right, this one right here. This one's live. This one's not. So we're going to hold on to that and we're going to go live in here. So now we're live watching this one, right? So you can switch back and forth, but it's like it goes back and forth between the two. So if we went back up and I went to followed hosts and then back again, suddenly it'll show different people. So think about what is it that people are seeing in the lobby here that's going to make them want to come in while you're live. You want to increase what's called your click-through rate. So that means figuring out a way to make yourself enticing so that people want to jump into your show. All right. That's all I got for that. Any last questions? And then we will raid into someone. I can't remember who. If you're in another show like this one, it doesn't work. Yes, that's true. If you're already in a show, it doesn't work. Let me unpin this. Where is it? Thank you, Heart-Centered Soul. And by the way, everyone, oh, this needs to be deleted. Why won't it let me? There we go. Delete. So everyone, it's the beginning of June. So everyone have a very happy Pride Month. Pin. So everyone be you. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. So don't try to be somebody else on Whatnot. Don't try to fake it till you make it. Be yourself. You will find an audience and a vibe. It just takes time. Time Hop says, if you're just joining, please join me today at 3 p.m. Mountain for my polymer clay earrings. I love it. Everyone check it out. All right. Share your shows. I love you guys so much. I'm so glad you came and hung out with me for a bit. Let's see who we've got still on. Yeah, I think we're going to go into, we haven't been into, let me just double check who's doing what right now. All right. Yeah. Let's go into Louie. We haven't been into Louie in a while. Even if it's not your thing, just show some love, hearts, whatever you want to do. Tap hearts on the screen because there's something going on. Good deals. Yeah, all over. Yeah, absolutely. I can show you how to do a flash sale. Hang on. Let's just flip the screen. Please hold. Switch. Okay, so there's my show. Let's go to, actually, let's type in a Pride thing. Pride. Done. Okay. We're going to pin that one. Okay, this one we're going to turn into a flash sale. So see right here, you got these three little thingies. So we're going to click on that. Okay, and then, sorry, I'm going to have to just, there we go. Run as flash sale. Run as flash sale. So we're going to actually edit, okay? I want to edit because I prefer to do it this way. And I'll tell you why in a second. So we got in the buy it now. See right here? You can even set this up in advance when you're setting up a buy it now item. You can turn this on. Turn on flash sale. Say 25% off. And you can say the flash sale length will be for 1 minute. Make sure you turn this part on right here. Available for full price. Turn that on so that after your flash sale is done, people can still buy that item at full price. If you don't turn this on, then people can only buy it when the flash sale is running, which is a bit much. You can also set a maximum purchase amount. So say you have 100 of something, but yes, you can totally set this up before you go live. When you create the item, you can do this when you're creating the item. I'm in edit item right now. Reserved for live multiple shows, etc., etc. And then you just hit save changes. And then when it's time for you to go live and you are ready, it's going to take some time because it's in a lot of shows. So please hang on while it puts it into many shows. So then when you're in your live, you pick it. You don't have to pin it. This is why it says bookmark and alert me. Yeah. So then what you want to do is go boop. Where is it? Boopity boop. There we go. And then we go start. Sorry, there. It's above the chat now. Start auction. And oh wait, no, cancel. What am I doing? Not start auction, start flash sale. I'll be all right. So I hit start flash sale. I've already I've already said how long I want the flash sale to run for and what it is. And I can hit start flash sale. Now, if you don't want to do that and you suddenly decide, so that flash sale is running right now, but then I suddenly decide, you know what? I'm also going to do this Pride Potion button, or no, the Pride Dinosaur. So I'm also going to do the Pride Dinosaur. So I hit those 3 dots while I'm live in a show. And I don't think I've set this up. We're going to find out if I've set it up as a flash sale. If you haven't already set it up as a flash sale and told Whatnot how you want the flash sale to run, then it's going to ask you, what's the percentage off? Do you want a percentage off? Sorry, a percentage off or a price off? We're going to do percentage off. I like percentage off. And then how much is the percentage going to be? And you get to pick from the whole list. So we're going to keep it at, we're going to put this one at 30% off. And then how long do you want it to run for? So we're going to say 45 seconds. And then that's all there is. And then I hit start flash sale and boom. Now that's running. Now, if you go into if I don't get the same view that you do, but if you go into my show right now, into my store, the flash sales are going to come up first. They're going to be at the top of the list. Elga, you just unlocked egg. You have coupons. Congratulations. So there you go. Good deal. Good deal over. That is how you set up. Good deal lover. That is how you set up a flash sale. And you can run multiple flash sales in your show. You can just do a whole bunch of flash sales and preset them up. Just always. So here's the thing: is wait for a second. Watch that dinosaur is going to now. It's defaulted, unless Whatnot fixed it, dear Whatnot, hopefully you fixed this. It defaults to, if you do it the way, the quick way while you're live in a show, it defaults to not being available to purchase when a flash sale isn't running. So does it say that you can purchase this now? Oh, it does. Okay, it does. Okay, good. They fixed that. Good. Because that was one of my Dear Whatnot things for a while was Dear Whatnot, it needs to be automatic, that it's, of course, available for full price afterwards. It makes no business sense not to have it. Like, it should be the opposite, that the majority of people want it to be sold at full price and then have a flash sale every once in a while instead of the other way around. So it seems silly the way they had defaulted it. So I'm glad they fixed it. So anyways, there you go. That's flash sales for you. Okay, we're going to, last call for, hey, Kay, last call for anyone who has shows that they want to schedule. The switch toggle to available. Yeah, and if you missed anything, you can always watch me again on YouTube. Except you don't get the chat. I like big Vits and I cannot lie. Good morning to you. Okay, raid to Louie, if he's still on. Yes, Louie is still on. Kay says, today and every day at noon, I am painting color study commissions. Kay's art is amazing. You need to check out her shows. They are awesome. Say not exactly the same. Hey, Sarsaparilla, not exactly the same name on YouTube. It's slightly different. And how did your sassy show go? It's the Red Rooster Shop. But if you go to my profile up here somewhere, there's a Red Rooster link, a bit.ly /m/Red Rooster, and that will take you to all of my Whatnot related. I am not, hey, Kate and Lady. It'll take you to all of my things. Okay, one last question. When I load generic product by weight for random pallet pulls, how do I do it so the numbers go up per item, not per weight? The numbers. Okay, hang on. Please hold. Please hold. Someone will be with you shortly. So, we'll go back to my handy dandy screen. So let me just show you, we'll do books because I have that. So I already have it in my inventory. I already have this kind of stuff set up. So let's look for actually, we'll look for pottery. Okay. So I have, because my animals are worth more than my regular pottery stuff, so I have it in a different category so I don't rip myself off. So as you can see, if you go to my store now, I've got tiny pottery, mini animals, small random pull, etc. And you'll notice that what I do is I have like pottery 001A, pottery 001, so that they're in the order that they show up on the screen for me in their weight order, so from lightest to heaviest. And I add like 12 to 15, so I know that's 12 to 15 ounces, and 1 to 2 pounds, 2 to 3 pounds, 3 to 4 pounds, 4 to 6 pounds, 7 to 9 pounds. Makes my life easier. So when I'm running, I just grab one of those generic listings, so I can unbox like 20. I think the most we've managed to get through is 6 boxes in one show before I ran out of energy, where I'm just pulling out of boxes in storage. So when you sell, so if I sold my first monster weight pottery piece, it would say the receipt would say pottery 005 monster pottery piece 4 to 6. I'm going to pin that so you can see what I'm talking about. No, I want to pin. There we go. And then it would say 1-1. So that's the first one. And then the next one that sells would be -2. So I usually just take a Post-it note, or if I'm selling jewelry, I'll put things in bags and have write their name on it, so I know whose is whose when it's time for picking. So if you're selling clothes, I would say like having just having something you can pin on really quickly, like a piece of paper that you just do a quick pin on, or a Post-it note. If you got them in, like if you can put them in bags really quickly and then put a sticker on the bag so you know whose is what. That is the fastest way I find for doing random pulls and being able to run random pulls very quickly. So hopefully that helps a little bit. I can go into it more later, but hopefully that helps. Yeah. So I do it. I do it so that I can, like, the reason I put pottery and monster pottery and say pottery twice is because it's to pull it up quickly when I'm running shows, because I have different categories for different things. I always stick with, every once in a while, you'll see something in my Buy It Now or that's very big that I use the custom shipping profiles. Otherwise, I use Whatnot's weights. And again, the dude resales, it's really important. Weigh the item, and then you want to weigh it and pick the weight category that is the weight of the item plus all the shipping material as well. So if you had to ship this all by itself, how much would it weigh? And don't worry that the next thing won't weigh as much because it's already in the box. You don't know who's going to buy what. And you could have 50 people who all buy just one thing. So you want to make sure that your weights are correct, so you don't use up all of your shipping. You get 5 free shipping adjustments, 5 free shipping mistakes a week. You don't want to eat those up in your first show. So always add weight on to each item. So if I pick up something, so for example, this monster pottery piece is 4 to 6 pounds shipped, not 4 to 6 pounds itself in weight. It's 4 to 6 pounds shipped. So Ronnie 1325 says, so base your weight on a person buying one item only. Base your weight on that item selling all by itself and it being, I know Peacock, I'm still here. Base your weight on that one item being shipped by itself. How much does it weigh when you ship it? And then do that for all your pieces. So I always add, I know now, I've done this enough that I know that when I grab certain pieces, that sometimes an item that weighs only 7 ounces is still going to be 1 to 2 pounds because it's so delicate that I'm going to have to like put a box in a box, that, you know. Peacock, you're early this morning. You're super early this morning. You've already had 3 cups of coffee, breakfast, a shower, and did your dishes. Did you use a dishwasher for the dishes, or do you have like a Cabana Boy or something. Charlie's Treasures, good morning. Okay, I need to finish, and I'm yeah, thanks, Ronnie. I'm still on, but you can always watch me. Reptile Guy, what's up? You can always watch me rewatch these shows on YouTube. And yeah, that's right. Vintiquity said she found out I was going thrifting and wants to beat me to the items. Vintiquity is going to be going live thrifting today, right? So check that out. Your Cabana Boy is at work, then that means your Cabana Boy is at work because he's your Cabana Boy. All right, we're gonna go into Louis. He's doing oh, look at that. He went up to 11. He's been on for a while. So when I first started saying we were going to go into Louis, which was a long time ago, he was only at like 4 people. He's continued to stay on, and now he's got a whole bunch more people. So we're going to like invade him. So let's put in a whole bunch of emojis in. If you're Canadian, put some Canada flags in the chat. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. Hello, Country Roads with Michelle. How are you? All right. I love you guys so much. I will be back on tonight. So we'll do Rewards Club all over again. And I love you. Have a